My name is Sarah Mitchell. When my parents died, I expected heartbreak. What I didn't expect was humiliation. At the reading of their will, my brother inherited the house. My sister inherited the vacation property. My cousins received family heirlooms. And me, I received exactly $1. $1. The lawyer actually slid a check across the table. Everyone stared at me. Some tried to hide their smiles. Others didn't bother. I thought that was the worst moment of my life. Then the lawyer opened a second envelope. And suddenly, the room went completely silent. I was always the black sheep of the family. Not because I caused trouble. Because I refused to follow the script. My parents wanted me to stay in our small hometown. Marry young. Work locally. Live nearby. My older brother Michael did exactly that. So did my younger sister Amanda. I didn't. At 22, I moved to Seattle. I wanted a career. A different life. A future that belonged to me. My parents never forgave me for leaving. 4 years, every family gathering felt like a trial. My brother was praised. My sister was celebrated. I was criticized. Too ambitious. Too independent. Too selfish. No matter what I accomplished, it wasn't enough. When I bought my first home, nobody cared. When I started my own business, nobody asked about it. When my company became successful, they dismissed it as luck. Eventually, I stopped trying to earn approval. Then my father passed away. 2 years later, my mother followed. Despite everything, I was devastated. Because disappointment doesn't erase love. After the funeral, the family gathered at a lawyer's office. Everyone expected a straightforward inheritance meeting. None of us knew what was coming. The reading started normally. Michael received the family home. Amanda received the lake house. Several relatives received jewelry and valuable collectibles. Then the lawyer reached my name. He paused. The room grew quiet. And then he said, "To my daughter Sarah, I leave the sum of $1. People actually looked relieved. As if justice had been served. As if I'd finally been punished for leaving. Felt sick. But I stayed silent. Then the lawyer said something strange. "There is an additional document." Everyone looked confused. Including me. The lawyer opened a second sealed envelope. Apparently, my grandfather had created a separate trust decades earlier. Trust nobody remembered. Or perhaps nobody expected to matter. Till now. My grandfather had been a quiet man. Farmer. A veteran. The kind of person people underestimated. According to the documents, he had been watching our family dynamics for years before his death. And he had concerns. Serious concerns. He believed favoritism was destroying the family. So he created a backup plan. One that would only activate under specific conditions. Conditions that had just been met. The trust contained investments, land, business assets, and stock holdings accumulated over decades. The total value exceeded $6 million. The room froze. My brother thought there had been a mistake. My sister started crying. Several relatives demanded explanations. Then came the final surprise. I was the sole beneficiary. Not because I was the favorite. Because I was the only person who built a life without expecting someone else's money. Those were my grandfather's exact words. The reactions were immediate. Relatives who ignored me suddenly wanted conversations. Family members who mocked me wanted reconciliation. My phone exploded with messages. Everyone suddenly remembered how much they loved me. It would have been funny if it weren't so obvious. The same people who celebrated my $1 inheritance now wanted access to $6 million. A week later, my brother visited. He apologized, at least partially. Then he asked if I would share the trust. There it was. The real reason for the visit. Not regret. Not guilt. Money. When I declined, he became angry. For the first time in my life, I didn't argue. I simply stood up and opened the front door. The conversation was over. The following year changed everything. Not because of the money. Because of the clarity. I finally understood something important. People who only value you when you have something to offer never valued you at all. Trust gave me freedom, but the lesson gave me peace. And that was worth far more. Before his death, my grandfather included one final note. I still keep it framed in my office. It says, "Never measure your worth by the opinions of people who benefit from underestimating you." Every time I read those words I smile. 'Cause he was right. If you've ever been underestimated by your own family, comment. They picked the wrong grandchild. And remember, sometimes the people who leave you out of their plans accidentally prepare you for something much bigger.